Good afternoon. My name is Olivia. I'm known as Olivia K on Facebook, Ollie K on Instagram, and Warmium9800 on Reddit. So I want to make this quick in case my camera cuts off again and I cannot upload this video. So I'm going to try to compile seasons 9 and 10 together instead of doing separate videos because I was unable to upload both the other day, and I'm so sorry for the delay. So now that pushes back everything that I had planned to film. So I'm getting a new camera, so I'm hoping to be able to do the antibiotics, high yield information, and then do Temptation Island. Alright, so let me get into it. So season 9, I think that was the worst season out of all the seasons I've done. And being the fact that I didn't see any authentic couples at all, and it's kind of sad because the show, this is one of the reasons why I'm not even going to watch it anymore, because the show is more for, the views and the drama and what people want. And unfortunately, I watch the show because of the fact that you see real people falling in love without the gimmicks, and then you watch their journey together, and just for that, it's why I don't like season 9. It was nothing but gimmicks, and a lot of influencers are just coming there to fall in love, and Derek and Candace for Perfect Match, which I don't really want to watch, and I'm not going to cover probably unless people want me to. So let me get into it. So I'm going to see what I can remember from season 9. So I remember Annie and Nick. Annie was always drunk, and they weren't a good pair to begin with. I don't really have too much of an issue with Nick, except that he did say some controversial stuff in the pods, and I can understand why people were not with him throughout. And I'm like, you know what? You have to be careful what is being said on TV, because you're being filmed and whatnot. So hopefully he's learned his lesson then. I still follow him. He's doing his thing. The one thing I didn't like, and I take it with the issue with the audience, calling people gay without evidence, and that's really sad and really judgmental for you to do. I think that's gross, and I would like for us to stop doing that as a general, because I think that's immature and that's kind of gross to just call someone gay without evidence. So that's all I have to say with Annie and Nick. Annie, I think she seemed to mature by the time the reunion came, and I appreciate her. Good for her. Then you had Madison and Joe, and they had great vibes in the pods. I think everyone does, because you can't see how the other person looks like, right? Great. Then when it came to them meeting, you could just tell that Joe did not like Madison at all, and it's like wow. You could from there on out, it was just downhill, because when they went to that the meetup, and he was drunk, and then he was being obnoxious. I think Madison was kind of overdoing it at first. Well, at first I actually understood why she felt the way she did with Joe, and it's like, yeah, that just sucks. I can understand why it was a lot for her. But then, as you can see, to me, in my honest opinion, in my honest humble opinion, didn't look like Joe was trying. To me, I think he was a douchebag. And Madison may have had her moments too. So it's clear they both were not in it for the long haul. So I'm glad Joe just cut losses. And to be honest, he shouldn't have gone to fitting when he knew he didn't want to marry Madison or be with her. Glad they were over. Wonderful. Then there was KB and Edmund. So with KB, that's who I was referring to when I was talking about a few videos ago, where people are treating their partners like project because they see them as. And to me, I think, in my unpopular opinion, I think KB was treating Edmund like a project or her social work, and it astounds me that she didn't get any backlash for it, but Marshall got backlash for calling Jackie a project, which, what, I can, back then I'm like, okay, well, she kind of acts like it, but then it's like, now that I'm a lot older, a little more mature, and rethinking things, like, yeah, Marshall, that was really disgusting of you to say that. I really pray to God you don't treat females like a project. And I don't like anybody treating anybody as a project, whether you're female or male. And I believe that's what KB was doing. However, I think Edwin, right? Edwin or Edmund, one of those. He was acting immature as fuck. And he was childish too. So I'm glad she cut it off, but I do think she was also immature too. I know everyone was praising Kay because she sounds mature. She is a little, trust me, she is mature because she took accountability at the reunion, and I do appreciate that. But during the show, she was problematic too in her own right, and it just bothers me that people were not seeing the nuance, and they still do, and they rather put more of that kind of shit on someone like Marshall's versus KB, who really was treating Edmund like project. But it didn't work out, and I'm just glad that KB handled so much more, handled everything with grace at the reunion. Good for her. I appreciate that. Okay, so we covered those. And who else? I think there's someone that was matching with, not matching, but spoke to Nick in the pods too, and to me, she was a waste of breath and waste of time at the reunion, and she was more mad at Nick than Annie, and I'm like, okay, why are you there? It makes no sense, because she's besties with Madison. Great, but I think you're really ridiculous how you're treating Nick at the reunion. Ridiculous. Get out my screen. And I don't care to know what her name is. I'm not even going to look it up. Then there's Allie and Anton. So Anton got a lot of grief because of the fact that he was being portrayed as an alcoholic. He probably was drinking quite a bit on the show. I don't disagree with that. I just disagree with how Allie was treating him and had lack of communication during the show. And I'm just like, you had all these issues with Anton. You never brought it up in front of camera. How about that thing about Anton being... I forgot what the controversy was with Anton. Something about him going out or whatever, and she didn't even care to bring it up to Anton and rather go by Anton's friend's wife. I'm just like, Allie. She really pissed me off at the reunion, her behavior and all. I'm just like, you were, oh God. Okay, this kind of reminds me of the cuties thing where she was saying something bad about Anton's feet and the open-toe shoes. And I'm so glad it kind of showed that at a reunion towards the end. And I'm just like, Allie, you know what? Anton may have not been the greatest guy, but you are a special kind of somebody for you to be making fun of him in some sort of capacity. And you're the one that's not opening your mouth and communicating all these issues. The only time you conveniently communicated was with you catching Anton. Sorry about that. Catching Anton on the lie with the drinking, which that's valid, but then you should have spoke up a lot more about certain things, and that's why I had to look at you sideways by the time the reunion came. And I got tired of you. I got sick and tired of you, and I'm sick and tired of how people are judging Anton. Because here's the thing, and I've said this many times, when you're watching reality TV shows, producers can chop and screw any little thing to make you look one way. And I do believe, yes, Anton was probably drinking, but who are you to call him an alcoholic when you don't know him personally? That's really gross how people kind of behave. Yet Joe and Annie were probably drinking twice as much more, if not more, than Anton. And I just can't with people with Love is Blind watchers. I think that's another reason why I can't with the show anymore. It's just, you have infantile people who can think they can armchair diagnose somebody from the screen. Like, get out of my face. Okay. Then we have Sparkles and Jordan. So with Sparkles and Jordan, I thought they were all around a nice couple, but it was pretty clear that him being the single parent wasn't going to work out. And it's not to say single parents don't deserve love. They do. They definitely do. But I think if you're going to be talking about the single parenting thing, you can't just force somebody to immediately accept your child into their life. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense, and it's not fair to that person. So I think it's good that Sparkle and or Glitter, whatever her name is, and Jordan didn't work out. And you know what? I like the fact they're so cool with each other. You can still tell that Jordan was a bit hurt by the reunion, but they were cool regardless, and Sparkle moved on. So yeah, basically none of the couples lasted. I'm not sure if I forgot a couple. Oh yeah, Casey and Patrick. Well, they're they're a non-factor. The only thing I'm going to say quickly is that you can tell that Casey didn't like Patrick, and Patrick, the only thing is you looked ridiculous saying that Anna was your second choice and you're going to just pick Casey, and you're gassing yourself up more than you need to. And you can tell that Casey didn't want you, and you went for it anyways. I hope that by now, and it looks like, because I follow you, you have a girlfriend now, so I'm happy for you. So the only thing I'm going to say is definitely get therapy and learn to love yourself more, because it goes a long way and you'll find the right people. And it looks like you are learning to love yourself. Casey, I could care less about what happens with her. And I'm going to put a side note for Anna. Anna, at the end of the day, you chose to walk away from the experiment. So you have no leg or gall to be saying or criticizing Patrick. I think you guys are friends now. I'm just going to tell you, at the time when I watched the get together, and then you're saying X, Y, and Z to Patrick, I wasn't trying to hear what you had to say, because it didn't matter. You left. Bye-bye. Be gone. Okay. That's season 9 in a nutshell. To me, it was the worst season. Oh yes, and the reunion was really just ridiculous. I'm not even going to dabble too much into it, except the whole Casey having to give back Patrick the ring, and then for Patrick to just give her the ring back. What a joke. And Patrick's, I really hope from now you learn to stand up for yourself. What a ridiculous reunion, waste of time. Okay, now I'm going to get to season 10. This is my favorite after 1 and 4, because of the fact that we had one genuine, beautiful couple on it. And then Amber and Jordan was, Amber Jordan, right? Is his name Jordan? Yeah, it's Jordan. Waste of time couple, but we'll get into it. So I personally love Vic and Christine. They're a beautiful couple. They're up there. They're my third favorite, I would say, after Lauren Cameron and Tiffany and Brett. And don't get me wrong, I like the other couples, like Amy and Johnny, and then Taylor and Garrett, and Taylor and Daniel. I like them too. I don't care. I don't care about the that other couple from season 1, the Barnetts. I could care less about them. Then you can't change my mind. So I feel like we were robbed from Christine and Vic. They had more scenes. I know they had more scenes. I think they were put there last minute because they knew that every other couple there was a mess and a mistake to begin with. Ridiculous. But I love that they're still together. Vic and Christine, I still follow them. And I could care less that they went to Fox News. Who cares? I think I'm going to just say this once. No, whether they went to Fox News or E! News, etc. I don't care. No, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't see why it matters, and they're getting backlash for no fucking reason. People just want to be angry to be angry. I feel like that's where we're at in this world, and that's why I don't dabble too much into politics on my channel. Ridiculous. Very ridiculous. So their wedding was gorgeous. I actually kind of cried at them, oh, they're such a sweet couple. It's so lovely to see them. And the fact is, they're saying, I see you. Kind of like when you watch Avatar and their love language is, I see you. It's not, I love you. I see you. I really see who you are. I can't see you, but I see you. And I wish that was more of a love language in reality. Okay, so then Amber and Jordan, they had no business being together. I thought they're sweet at first, so don't get me wrong. I did not think Amber liked Jordan at all. I did not think so. I'm just you can just tell she don't like him. But when you see maybe one or a few seasons together, episodes together, they weren't too bad. They're actually a united front. And for me, I could see them dating, but marriage, no. And I'm not surprised about the outcome of what happened by the reunion. Didn't last. Not surprised. Okay, then you had Bree and Connor. Bree, I liked her in the pods. After the pods, you saw her for who she was. I think she's trash. She's not a girl's girl. And I understand that you don't have to be friends with people who you've been with because they're basically your co-workers. But to be honest, she's still trash, and you can kind of see who she is. And Connor, honestly, I'm glad you're not with her. I hear they're not together anymore, and I hope you guys aren't together anymore. Because honestly, Bree sucks. Connor, you're a great guy. I think honestly you'd make a better couple with Emma. So speaking about Emma, there's Emma and Mike. Emma, I got annoyed with her during the pods because I just thought she was a crybaby. But then with the Steven thing, I can understand because Steven is a creep, and I believe every person who made allegations against him, he's trash. So that's the only time I can give Emma grace. But then the rest of the episode, she was just too overly emotional for me. Then Mike seemed really sweet, but my problem is that he kept pushing the child issue onto Emma. And I'm like, if you want a person who wants kids, you should settle with somebody that wants kids. You can tell Emma is just kind of not like hesitant about it, and rightfully so. Not everyone should be a mom if they don't feel like it. It's a personal choice. So for me, every time I watch them on the show, you could see that she was so uncomfortable every time Mike brought up the whole kid situation, and it's why I had to look at Mike sideways many times. And even at the when they went to altar and he said no, which was good, and Emma said yes. I kind of wish Emma didn't say yes, because deep down she knows she's very hesitant with the kid situation. But I just hate that people kept saying, oh, Emma's manipulative. I'm like, okay, but Mike knew she was not sure about having kids. So why did he propose to her when he knew she was apprehensive about it? So don't make Emma seem to be like she's a bad guy here. Anyways, Emma, I think you're a beautiful lady, and I think you will find someone that understands you. Don't give up. And you have kids when you want to. If you don't want kids, that's okay too. Don't just settle on some guy, just be married. Because marriage is a lifelong decision, and that's what I would say about anybody in this show. Then Brittany and that piece of shit, Devon, piece of shit. You could tell he didn't like her, Brittany, the moment they got the pods. And honestly, they should have ended it when they had that first fight in, was it Mexico? Wherever they went. She should have left him, said keep him. If you're saying sweet nothings, you have to stand up for yourself, Brittany. I say that about any kind of person on the show. Stand up for yourself, because nobody else will have your back. And to be honest, though, Ashley, Priyanka, who wasn't even in a couple but featured, Priyanka and Brianna, they're trash for not being transparent. But you should also be angry at Devo, because Devo is trash and he humiliated you, and you need to kick him to the curb. I think you just want to be married. And what girl doesn't want to be married? I guess not everyone. Some people want to be married. You want to be married to the right person. So good luck. Then Jessica and Chris is a piece of shit. I can go right into him, but he's not worth my time. Jessica, I don't think Chris was arguing about the fact you don't have a healthy body, because you do. You're a smoke show. He's just mad and he just wants to get under your skin. That's his pattern. So I'm glad he got humiliated on the reunion. And to people who are pick-me's about, oh, well, he apologized. You guys are pathetic for that, by the way. He rightfully got his ass read by Nick Lachey, and it needs to happen. He needs to be held accountable, period. Okay? Jessica moved on to a very handsome doctor, and it was so lovely to see them on the reunion. He was a Clarence love to Jessica. What's his name? I'm going to just call him Harry. Harry and Jessica, cute, and I follow them both on Instagram. They're lovely, and I think they're still together. Then I'm trying to remember who else. I think that's about it, right? I think that's all. Oh, yes. Then Ashley and Alex. Alex is just a joke. And I think he's a liar, but what I know, I just know that his attitude just made my skin crawl during the watch, and I just didn't like the guy. He was such a scumbag. And Ashley, she's too, I think she's too beautiful for him, but I also think she was kind of shysty in her own way. So unpopular opinion, I'm glad she actually told off Alex during the altar, because I think he was going to honestly embarrass her too. And if he had embarrassed her, everyone would be up in arms at him and whatnot, just like everyone's up in arms on her. But I'm glad she did, because look at the way Alex was coming to the fucking altar. He wasn't groomed. He was dirty. I'm glad she read him off. Good, Ashley. That's the only thing I'll give you points for. And at the reunion, I just didn't like that they kept wasting their time on Ashley and Alex arguing back and forth who's right and who's wrong. He's a liar. He's a piece of shit. And I'm not surprised that him and Devo were roommates. I don't know if they still are. Because isn't Devo supposed to be expecting a child and engaged? I don't see how that's going to work. Pathetic. They make an even better couple than, I'm saying like with Alex and Devo. They make an even better couple than Devo and Brittany. Wow. But the reunion was great. I mean, I understand that it's 10 seasons and they had to bring the past people back, but I really could have done without it. But anyways, Bliss and Zach are expecting another baby. It's a boy. Congratulations to them. But to be honest, we could have done without it. Then Lauren was home. Then Cameron came, and it's good to see Cameron bring his old face back. And I couldn't care less of the past couples. I'll be honest. I still don't. Like anytime I see, well, anyways, this is my last Love Blind reunion, or show rather. I really can do without the past members. So good luck to everybody going forward, to all the married couple. And I'll probably just be watching recaps. I'm not going to even watch the show anymore. Anywho, I'm going to go over Temptation Island this week, and then I'm going to go over the high yield pharmacology content, because I am mad everything's off schedule. So I'll get to those, and I hope everyone has a good day. Take care and have a good one. Bye.